Half-Shell Oyster House offers award-winning cuisine and service. Named TripAdvisor Best Top 10 Small Chains in the United States. Voted Best Seafood in Mississippi Magazine 8 times. You can enjoy award-winning oysters and seafood, delicious steaks, pastas, sandwiches, salads, and so much more in a unique, polished, casual dining experience. Half-Shell Oyster House is located at 115 Laurel Park Cove, Suite 105, Flowood, Mississippi 39232. Or you can give them a call at 769-257-7586. And hey, tell them Sonia sent you.
She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports.
It's your girl Sonia, and welcome back to She Say Sports. Please welcome the usual suspects, NFL former players Cedric Donaldson and Jameion Spencer. What's up, guys?
What's up, Sonia? How are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm good. Can you believe it? This is my third show I've done this whole summer. I've been so busy. I have been so busy. I was about to say the last show I did was with Coach Dot, but that's not true. But I've been extremely busy. Jameion knows. I don't think Cedric knows. But I had for my birthday, I had a day party with the cause for homeless people. And it was, oh my gosh, it was amazing. I wish I could have been there. It was really, really good. I had 4 food trucks. People came out. One man got baptized.
Wow.
It was really, 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 really great. And my birthday was great, of course. And so, I just had a great summer.
Number 29 all over again?
I'm actually 32.
32, okay. All right, okay.
That was a good year for me. What have you guys been doing?
Jay, I'll let you.
I've been surviving the summer. I've been surviving this, I don't know if we calling this, black magic summer, super heat summer. I done blew through 2 freezers,
Are you
capacitor, an air conditioner. Man, look, it's been real this summer. I feel like I've been waterboarded for like 90 straight days down here in this Mississippi blanket of humidity and heat, man. It's been real.
It's crazy, y'all. I mean, I got in my car the other day. It was 115 degrees, and I didn't let the windows down, and I closed the door without turning the car on, and I couldn't catch my breath for a minute, and it drained me for the rest of the day. I couldn't do anything. I barely could feed Nova. So, yeah. What about you, Sam?
Hey, man, it's been good, man. We went on took the kids on a Disney cruise, my first cruise ever. It was
How
awesome.
did you like it?
It was awesome, man. I mean, it was expensive. They get you on the way in and on the way out, but
yeah.
Did you have good food? And
the food was good. The service was excellent. So you almost don't mind paying them.
Right.
But when you get home and the sticker shock hit you, be like, Lord have mercy. But yeah, then me and the wife just celebrated our 11th anniversary. So we went to Napa for the Blue Note Jazz Festival.
You know what? Charles was there with his wife for their anniversary. Charles,
who did it?
Yeah.
I'm
shocked y'all didn't see each other.
It was I probably could have seen them, but it was a good weekend.
That's why I'm shocked you didn't see him.
Yeah, it was a good weekend, man. So we just getting back, but I had a meeting in Jackson. We got back midnight. I had a meeting in Jackson 8:00 Tuesday morning. So I got off the plane, came home, took a shower, put my clothes on, drove to Jackson. So I hadn't slept in pretty much a good 2 days right now.
Wow.
There you go. That's the way you do it right there. Yes.
Don't listen to Jameion.
Yes.
Don't listen to him. Get you some rest. Well, guys, we have not spoken since Super Bowl. Is that correct? So that was February. So just want to check in with you guys. August 3rd. Yeah, August 3rd will be the first preseason game for the NFL. I'm so glad the NFL is back. I'm so excited. It will be against New York Jets and Cleveland. New York Jets and Cleveland. You know, it's been some changes up in both squads. What are your thoughts of both teams this upcoming season, especially with Aaron being with the Jets and Deshaun being with Cleveland? I'm gonna start with you, Jameion. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. So my thoughts are, yes, we're happy to have NFL back. I think it's an exciting time of the year for anybody that's ever played the sport. It's a very confusing time of the year because when you start smelling, or at least me, and said you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something about this time of the year when you start smelling that grass and the water and sometimes even the heat in the air. I start to have a little PTSD, and I pass out in my driveway every so often. It take me a while to get to the mailbox because I'm thinking about them dog days, them real dog days that we used to. So, by the time you get to the preseason, when you actually play games, man, that's the fun stuff. So, but no, I'm very happy and excited. In terms of the game itself, man, yeah, it's gonna be good stuff. We know. At least for me, I think the obvious storylines in terms of Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson are kind of the secondary stories for me. I'm really excited to kind of see Cleveland's defense. Myles Garrett is going to be super fresh. They got, Zadarius Smith that they traded for. I think that's going to put a very, very hard combo to really defense against, to put a scheme against for any team that's playing Cleveland this year. And but I think the secondary story for me is kind of understanding this running back situation and what's going to happen. The running back brotherhood is kind of coming to a realization, man. They've been rubbed out of the sport and the game to the point now we got to figure out how these guys are going to help support their teams, right, wrong, or indifferent, in order to be able to maintain the livelihood of the position. So it'll be a good storylines to be able to go into the year with. I'm just going to hate that, a lot of times these diva QBs are going to get all the press. I just want Aaron to go hang out in the dark, and well, I ain't gonna say what Deshaun gonna go hang out, but it'll be.
Hide your kids, hide your therapist. No, just fine.
Well, you a therapist, but he don't want you.
Hey, I'm in commercial insurance now, although I still am a therapist, kind of.
Right.
Hey, I'm like Jay though, man. I'm excited just for football to be back. And it's kind of ironic because both teams, Denver and the Jets, if you think about what they had last year, they both had like the defenses were, and you expect them to be even better this year. But now they both have, I guess, Deshaun was his first year back, so I don't really count last year. I'm gonna see what he's gonna do this year. It might be over for him, but I'm happy he's back. I think Aaron Rodgers will help the Jets just by being out of Green Bay. I want to see what he's gonna do. But the big story right now in the preseason, those guys might not even. Aaron Rodgers might not even play. You know what I mean?
They're not. It's being reported neither one of them will play tomorrow.
Yeah. So I like seeing guys that came in and on my level. You know what I mean? Like the free agents, because it's their time to shine. Yeah. And I want to see what they're gonna do, man. I want to see who's gonna make a name for themselves or whatever. And just the small nuances, like you might see a guy get out there and block a field goal. Never heard him before in your life, but that block field goal might change his life. You know what I mean? So I'm with that.
Yeah. And just to add on to it too, I got a lot of respect for Robert Saleh and the things he brings to it. And he gets overlooked, I think, for the job that he does in that market, at that team, in that organization. And for him, Aaron is just kind of the cherry on it all. But for the most part, that pound cake has been baked, and we saw glimpses of it all last year. And he started letting those dogs eat. Those young dogs eat for the most part. So it's going to be really, really exciting to see how they bring it all together. Knowing that you're going to solidify that quarterback position. It can be very scary for the AFC East.
Yep.
Right.
Or AFC period, I should say, not the East.
That's true. And as you mentioned, Aaron, he's been trying to get out of Green Bay for quite a while now. Do you think the Jets could possibly be a good home for him?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean,
go ahead, Zed. Go ahead, Zed.
I think it will because Aaron is prone to making some mistakes,
Mhm.
and it didn't matter when Green Bay defense was what it was. I mean, the Jets got a good defense, and they were holding up for a long time last year. And then the quarterback was they had no trust in him, and so with a good defense, and he has a lot of confidence too. Aaron does or whatever, so he think he can make every throw, and I think they're gonna be good, man. I don't know about Super Bowl contending. I hope, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the Jets win the Super Bowl. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
I think they're gonna shake up the landscape. I'm actually gonna go the opposite way. I actually think I think Aaron Rodgers could fit into any system, especially considering what he's brought over to New York. I
Mhm.
think the thing that's missing for me that we've historically seen is that Aaron doesn't play well when he's comfortable. He
Yeah.
plays good when he's comfortable. And a good QB in that system will do well in terms of shaking up. But if they want to get to the next level, Aaron got to be pissed off, right? Aaron has to be at that position where he feels like he's got something to prove or someone to disprove. And when he has that chip, you see a different beast come out in him. So I think with his level of comfortability, it's going to be great for the team atmosphere. It's going to be great for Robert Saleh being able to coach that team with that type of Hall of Famer that's in the ranks. But in terms of winning, they are going to win a lot of games, and I think they're going to shake the landscape. I just don't think they're contender ready yet.
Okay. So what about Deshaun? Do you think this could possibly be a good home for him? Hello?
Yeah. Well, no.
No?
Deshaun has been a proven winner, right? Deshaun has been a proven winner, and I think you have to plant Deshaun in a culture of winning. Again, I think he's grown enough to be able to separate the off-field issues and what he's doing on the field. But I don't see Deshaun as a wave maker or a trailblazer when it comes to culturally forming and leading an organization. To me, I thought Deshaun would have been a perfect fit for like a Pittsburgh or a New England. Some of those established organizations that have that culture that you can embed and trust an individual like Deshaun, who is a great player, but at the same time, allowing him to be him inside of that system is where he works best. I think in Cleveland, it's going to be put on his shoulders too much. And that I don't think we're going to get the best of him. I think we're going to get I think we're going to get a lot of improvisation, and we're going to get a little less of what he truly can do in that leadership role.
Gotcha. And I remember you saying that he would do well at Pittsburgh last season. You mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, I think of Deshaun like I think of Tiger Woods, man. Like they did so much to build his story off the field, saying like how great of a guy he was. He did this and that, and then he had this whole deal in the background where he's with the therapist, and I don't know, man. I'm just shaky of whenever you start building somebody up like that. I just be waiting on the the tear down to come, and not that what Deshaun was doing was because you've been in the league, you saw. I mean, it was kind of normal.
Yeah.
He just had way too many. Like his numbers were way too many, but I mean, it was happening a lot.
You had to slow it down, pump your brakes a little bit, Johnston.
But with a good coach or a team to where you don't have to be the good guy, you know what I mean? Like Pittsburgh, as you don't have to be like a great guy to win in Pittsburgh. I mean, they got the culture around you to help you or whatever. But I don't know. Cleveland, man, they are Cleveland. It can't help.
So do you think the fans are rallied behind him? And what about redemption? I mean, is he able to be redeemed and forgiven?
Now, if he win in Cleveland, he will.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about winning.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and that's one of those fan bases that, I mean, it's all about the W's. You know,
Yeah.
they could care less about the stats. They could care less about the highlights. They truly want to see the W's go up, because that's what they build around. You know, and if he does, and if he gets on a roll and he starts to win, then yeah, you're going to see you're going to have a storybook comeback there. But you know, again, you've got to get to that point. And I think in order for Deshaun to win, he's got to have a group around him. He's got to have a group around him.
That's true. Okay. Well, I wish them both. Well, I mean, I really wish Aaron the best now, since he is not playing with Green Bay anymore. The Bears beat his rival. So you be blessed, Aaron. Got eyes like Jesus. Rogers. So guys, who are you most excited to see in the NFL this season? Like, who do you think will be a surprise teams, and who should we keep our eye on?
Hey, I want to start this off right here, Jay, because you're gonna appreciate this, man.
Okay.
I think, and Jay understand this when I say it. Most people probably won't even know who I'm talking about. But I think T. Huddy will be the most underrated player coming out in the league this year. He's right now he's with the Rams. I don't know if he's gonna be there when the season starts, but I think he's gonna be somewhere. But that's a friend that he was on the show, Rodney's
son. Yes.
Yes. Rodney's son.
Yeah, he's with the Rams right now.
Fantastic. If you look and you see some of his tape right now, you're just like, wow, this kid, you know, he doesn't even look like a first-year player, but you know, I think he may get caught up in the roster shuffle. He's gonna land on somebody's roster. He's gonna do well. Yep.
It's amazing.
I got a film in some of his film last year and read, you know, his stats, you know, when his dad was on the show, because I just wanted to get a feel of who he was so I can talk to Rodney about him. So yeah, he's pretty dope.
It's amazing that a player with his size, speed, hands, like, you just don't know about it. When it comes to the NFL draft and the scouts and all that, man, you just don't know, bro. It can go anyway. But I just hate that people get caught up in like, if you are in the NFL, you got to be the best of the best of the best. And I always tell people, I was like, hey, man, I made it, and I was probably the worst athlete on my street. You know, for real. You know, so
and it's situations. You know, you'd be shocked. I mean, and you know, and it's so funny because in college, you know, you can pretty much count on a situation being year round, but in the NFL, it's really kind of a quarterly situation. It's a 3-4 game situation, and players get hot depending on who they're playing or how their team is playing. And those roster changes happen so quickly. And man, that's why it's always important that you go out, you take advantage of every rep you got, because you just never know when it's going to be your time either. So I'm excited to see the players like that, you know, matriculate through this. It's only 3 games this year, man. So was it 3 games last year too? Or did it? It seemed like it was. Yeah, I think it was. It was 3. Yeah.
It's 3 games, and they're really concentrating on seeing who the new guys are. And so, you know, I think they're gonna get a better shot, because when we came through, it was 4 games, and you know, you really got one real game to showcase.
Unreal. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
because you had those cuts happen after every one of them. So
yeah.
You know.
So said, if you felt like you were the worst on your street, you make it to the NFL. Was it like fueled you to like do what you needed to do to stay? And can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, when you're the worst on your street, you always fight. You know what I mean? You fighting to be the best. And so I was the most motivated on the street because I was the worst on the street. I'll tell everybody about Fred Smoot. You know, when he was on, you know, he was like, "Oh, I'm the best in the." You ain't the best in your class, like, you know what I mean? But he had the attitude.
But he had the confidence.
He had the confidence, and so that right there is the most important thing. You know, being the best athlete is not what's going to take you to the NFL. It's going to be who's the most motivated, and who gets motivated at the right time. You know what I mean?
And it's that work. It's that work ethic too.
It's the work ethic.
Because I know a lot of times, and I know people don't talk about it, and Sid knows this. I mean, you know, even in Fred's case, I mean, yeah, he was confident, but Fred probably took more mental reps of anybody I've ever seen on a sideline. I mean, you know, if he was in there or not, you'd be surprised just watching him walk with people and watching him shadow and you know, overplay, underplay. And I was like, you know, I watched him do this before, and I was like, you know, what the hell is this dude doing walking to the cafeteria? But, you know, it's the mental reps, it's that work you put in, you know, that makes the difference a lot of times.
Yeah. And so that's what it is, man. If you find a cat that has a chip on his shoulder, clearly, you know, they're gonna work hard. They got a point to prove. And so sometimes you probably went to school with him. In our neighborhood, it was a guy named Mark Phillips. Mark Phillips went to Provine. The best he was Allen Iverson before Allen Iverson. Was good at every sport. And he's so good, every seed he's had on down the line. Son was great, follow his path though. Grandson, great, following his path. Like, you know.
So did Mark make it to the league?
Nah. Mark used to shoot.
One of those stories, one of the coldest.
The GOATs.
But
GOATs.
never. Wow.
You used to shoot Lindsey Hunter eyes out.
Wow.
On a daily basis. Like, so you see stuff like that, man, and you know, you get motivated, and people try to, you know, crash on those type cats. But without seeing Mark, I would have never thought I can do anything. Like he gave me something to shoot towards. So you gotta give him the props. It might not have worked out for them, but it worked out for a lot of people under him because our neighborhood was putting them out.
That's what's up. So I know you said T Huddy, that's someone we need to look out for. What teams are y'all possibly thinking that's gonna be like a splash this season?
Man. So you want
Cowboys, Cedric.
You want to break it down for us, AFC, NFC. So if we start in the AFC, you know, because I feel like, you know, this year AFC is like so loaded. I mean, teams personally that I'm ready to see play. I'm ready to see Cincinnati, you know, and health is going to be an issue for them. I'm ready to see Buffalo if they're going to actually turn the corner on this thing. Of course, the storyline with the Jets that are there. We look at what's happening down in South Florida with Miami. You know, I mean, those cats are scary, very, very scary. I mean, we look at, you know, kind of the old steady as to what's happening with, you know, Belichick and him doing his thing with keeping all his players uncomfortable and you know, not committing, and, you know, but he's always done that. That's his thing to do. You know, do I think they're gonna, you know, be the elite team? Probably not, but they're gonna make some people sweat this year. I can promise you that. Man,
it's gonna be the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Oh my God, the Chiefs. I mean, Andy, you know, those cats, they're loaded up. I mean, and so I think the AFC is going to be a matter of who has the best medical staff to keep these cats on the field, right? You got to bang for 20 weeks, and it's going to be a matter of who you're going to get hot at the right time as to who's going to edge everybody out. It's going to be probably the closest playoff race we've had in years. And let's not forget about the Bullies of Baltimore that are over there either, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, but if we keep these cats on the field and we keep them playing and we keep them competing, oh my God, it's gonna be fantastic TV for every week to watch, no matter what the game is.
Okay, what about the NFC?
Man, Philly, Lord have mercy. You got to see them again, Lord. I'm hoping the Cowboys do something, man, but we need T Huddy bad. Like, I wish we can trade for him right now.
Yeah, that would be nice.
He'll be the perfect complimentary receiver for the Cowboys because he's like a big tight end.
What about my Bears? Nobody's saying anything. Crickets?
No, not crickets. Not crickets. I think the Bears are gonna make noise. I think the Bears are gonna make noise.
I gotta see, man, about them Bears, man.
What they gonna do?
I gotta see about them Bears, man. You know, I'm going to Chicago in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna have to call some old folks up there, man, to see what the word is on them. So, but I don't know. The NFC, man, I'm just not as excited about the NFC like I am. I think you got Green Bay. I mean, not Green Bay. You got Philadelphia.
Yep.
The Cowboys.
You got the 49ers.
49ers.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like it ain't everybody's watching the AFC, man. So the NFC is just, you know, if they make it, they make it. It's just like the college football finals.
So I'll tell you the team out of the NFC that intrigues me. And they started getting hot at the end of last year. And their coach is old school. They are full of dogs. I hate they lost Jamal Williams, but Detroit is going to they are going to give people some nightmares this year. I'm still not a big believer in Jared Goff, but Jared Goff has not had to carry them either. Right now, you take Jamal Williams out of that, you put a couple other hungry guys back there. You never know; it may take off. But you know, Dan Campbell has got some monsters over there that are ready to just hit people, you know. And but I think Detroit excites me. Seattle has been quiet, right? And I think Seattle is going to come with a barrage of second half runs because Pete Carroll typically hasn't done very well in the first half of the season, you know. So I think we got to look out for those guys. But Philly is going to be the obvious team to dethrone at this point in the NFC.
One more thing before we move on from the NFL, Damar Hamlin. How do you think they're gonna play him? Will he be starting maybe, or they're gonna take it slow with him? Because I know he's, you know, been getting ready for this season.
I don't know, man.
If he can still play at his level, because prior to that Monday night game, you know, when they were playing Cincinnati that night, prior to that incident on the field, Damar was playing at a very high level, right? You know, and that safety position it's not easy, right? You know, you got to be a jack of all trades. You know, you got to be the man in the box, the man over the top, the man covering everything, right? He was playing at a very high level. I think if Damar comes back with that same level of intensity, without hesitation, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be ready to play. I think psychologically, there's still some things there, some questions to be answered, right? What happens when you get that same route to come across the middle and he has to go make that play again? You know, do you pull up?
Do you psychological for him? Maybe.
Look, with the moment you start thinking too much, you lose a step. It's over. It's over. That's the bad part about it, because we thrive on people being more instinctual and less thoughtful when it comes to making plays. We want you to be thoughtful pre-snap and post-snap, but not during the snap, right? You know, so that's the thing about it. If it becomes to the point where he shows some level of hesitation or he changes his game or tries to change his approach, we could be looking at that decline all over again.
Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day, like, would I play again after something like that? And I asked him back. I said, "Hey, have you ever been in a car wreck?" And the person was like, "Yeah, I've been in one. I almost died. Do you still ride in cars?"
Get right back in it. Yes, sir.
Get right back in it. And if the guy know that, like, it's not because his heart was weak that this happened. It's because he just got hit at one, the way he got hit was 1 in a million. if it happens to you twice, you're supposed to die. Like easy, you know. So if I were him, I think I can get back in there and play like normal. You know what I mean? Without thinking about it, anything, because I've already rationalized it in my head. Like, hey, that's not happening twice. Because it's not like my heart is just acceptable to stuff like that. It happened the way it happened.
And I'm sure he's going to therapy, but going to therapy and being right in, in the game is two different things. He's just going to have to apply it. And then speaking of the cardiac arrest with Bronny James, so we're seeing a lot of that now. A guy that's on the team Bronny's on now, he had a cardiac arrest earlier. Was it earlier this year or?
Yeah.
What is going on with that? I mean, and Jameion and I had a conversation last week. We have our theory, but what's going on with that with these athletes?
I think it might be a small uptick in it, but it was happening back in the days too. It was happening a lot too.
I guess because of social media was not
Social media.
out.
Now we're just hearing about it.
Yeah, that's true. So it was happening quite a bit back then.
Yeah, man, because it's a lot of kids. It's a lot of people. A lot of kids have those the thickening of the walls, and it's no way for you to tell it until that happened. You know what I mean? Like. And so I don't know, man. I mean, and it could be something that's happening in the last, like somebody wanted to ask me, was it the shots? They thought, oh, was it the shots?
I thought I asked that question. Was it the shots?
I don't know. I think
some of these kids do a lot of
supplements,
marijuana supplements and different stuff. I'm just like.
And that's the thing I was going with, that, I mean, me and you were talking, Sonia, because, everybody right now everybody's so driven on bigger, faster, stronger, but they've added this portion of recovery because the more you practice, the more you engage, the more you play, the better you get, so, if I can find some type of supplement, drink, pill, or whatever it is to help me to get back out there and go a little bit longer, a little bit harder, a little bit faster, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. There was a reason why people harped a lot on getting your rest, getting off your feet, getting the right amount of food with you and everything else. But if you don't take time to do those things, because now we're in the age of, I got an NIL deal, I got to go, take care of this, I got to go post this, I got to go get online, I can do, so it's still, your schedule is jam-packed with everything that help enhance your life, but there are very few times where people are actually taking that time for the things that are going to help to maintain life for them, right?
That's a great point.
You got to take care of your body, and I'm not saying that Bronny was one of those guys, but at a young age, we are pushing these kids to do it bigger, faster, stronger, right? Unfortunately, your dad is one of the greatest to ever do it, and people are looking at you like, well, what you got? Right? Where are you at? So, and you're constantly going to be on that proving ground. But you have to understand when you're bringing your game to it, I mean, and you got to take care of yourself. You got to make that time to take care of yourself.
Yeah. And it's year round. Like it's year round. Like you don't have a time to just sit down and do nothing. Like back in our days, you played football. Even if you played football and basketball, you still had 3 to 4 months off. You was going to, get a chance to chill. These kids play year round, like AAU, school, travel tournaments. I mean, and so they're in the gym, lifting weights, playing basketball. The body has no time to rest.
They a lot of stress.
Yeah, they trying out all kind of new supplements. And it could possibly be some of the medicines that they might be taking today. It's a lot going on, man. Sometimes you just need to sit down. What I mean? Sat down.
Sat down. You just sat down. I mean, some of the old stuff, it actually still works.
Yeah.
Rest. Get you some rest. Turn your phone off. Turn your TV off. You got all these stimulants. Just sat down.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to college football. Because it's so many teams, we'll just discuss a few in the independent. You know who that is. The SEC.
Right on to the radio.
And of course, we got to talk about one team in the Pac-12. Our Canadians' alma mater, Notre Dame.
Mm.
So, Jay, what are your thoughts on your team this upcoming season, and are there any players we should keep on our radar?
So I'm excited. I'm always excited about, again, when we get a chance to, I mean, like anybody, I have school pride. I have a lot of, again, association with not only if you're not there, what I went through and the people who paved the way. You want to see your team do well. I sit on some of the quarterly calls with Coach Freeman. I love his message. I love his energy. I love his enthusiasm. For me, he is doing a lot to kind of bring the alumni and the current teams together. And, you can see the level that his guys are buying into him and buying into the message and buying into the program. It's exciting. It's exciting. And for us, we always know that, it's national championship or bust, right? We've come up short so few years, the expectations are always going to be high. We know we're going to go out there and we're going to get everybody's best no matter what, because if you're on TV or not, look, you can either be embarrassed or be embarrassed by it, one of the two, right? You make people's careers at that point. Marshall came in, beat us at home last year. We made guys' careers when they get a chance to do that. So when you understand that mission and you understand that that's ahead of you, we look less at, who we're playing and get more ready into how we're playing, so, and I think they're getting back to that as well. So I'm excited to see what those guys are going to come with this year, how they're going to play. I'm looking at a lot of the players that are returning. I hate the Heisman watches and all that stuff, but when I look at our defense has been pretty solid. We got a running back, we got the big boy running backs that are in the backfield again, smash and grab. That's what we have always been famous for. So it's going to be exciting for us and everything. Schedule ain't going to matter, but we definitely going to make sure everybody that's up each week is going to be in for a show.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, Ced, let's move on down to the Bayou, to your alma mater, LSU.
Well, I'm gonna call it our alma mater because T-on-J, T-on-J and Jay a fan. He from Louisiana, so that's our alma mater.
Okay, y'all alma mater. You right. So same questions. Your thoughts on your team this upcoming season, and are there any players we should keep on our radar?
Man, we got, Harold Perkins, of course, the young linebacker that came on the scene last year. Our quarterback, they're saying he's going to be a Heisman. I don't buy into like the one player. So I would hope you would have to keep your eye on all 22 players. But if I just had to pick one player that's coming back this year, it's the big D lineman, Mason Smith. He tore his knee up in the first part of the first quarter last year. Yeah, he's a monster. That's a big dude. I heard his mom live in Jackson too, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard his mom live in Jackson. So I'm interested to maybe get a chance to see her around, meet her. But he's a big, smart, he's super smart. So I just want to see him succeed. Big guy with the glasses, big nerd, that get on the field and is an animal. But I want to see what BK is going to do his second year, man. I think BK kind of struggled last year with, even though he had a good season, he struggled with, he had an abundance of talent and he kind of, he didn't know what to do with it. I think he was struggling with saying, like the kid, the linebacker.
Receiver.
Well, the receiver, yeah, the receiver too. The linebacker, he was a young cat and he just had him on the bench the whole Tennessee game. When the quarterback had all day to throw the ball, they were just sitting back there killing us, and kind of coached himself out of a game last year. And at the end of the season, he kind of admitted to that. It was like, some games he kind of over thought the process instead of just letting your dogs run. And so it's a comment from one of Alabama players, man. I don't know why I love this so much, man. But they asked him, what is he excited about? And he said he excited that Alabama is getting back to joyless murder ball.
Ooh, I like that. You know,
Okay.
it sounds creepy, but I understand what he's saying.
I understood it immediately.
Joyless
Murder ball.
murder ball.
And you've been in some of them games. I know back when we played, especially like when we played Notre Dame when I was at LSU, that first game, just straight murder ball.
Murder ball. Look, records don't matter.
Ball.
Nothing matters. Look, it's about when you go out there, you battle. Look, you know. Okay, yeah. Next time.
So I hear more and more teams talking about like, hey, let's not spread it out like we used to. Let's line it up, get the big back, the tight ends, and let's pound people into the dirt. Now, although I didn't want to participate in those games, I love watching,
But said you already said, man, you were just a lineman in a safety body. That's all it was.
Hey, look here. If I was a lineman at heart, but wait, body. If I could go back, I would have been a lineman, bro. That was my dream job, to be a pulling guard.
Wow.
But it's gonna be exciting, man. I'm hearing a lot of these teams want to go back and implement, an older style of football and stop all these pass.
Yeah, I think that's too. It's indicative. If you ever played that game, or if you ever been just part of it on the field, up close and personal, there's a certain level of poetic trauma that happens when you watch true battle happens, right? I mean, there is nothing more exciting than inside drills or goal line drills. And people don't understand how it's a lot of times very little about how many times you score or how many times you may see a score, because the real battle happens with those cats that are pancaking, combo blocking. When you watch some of these linemen and you watch some of these D linemen run stunts that absolutely crush and they camp out in backfields. When you watch true D-line and O-line play and even linebacker play in that, no one appreciates it until you're in the middle of it. And when you see it, it is a certain beauty to it all. And the way it sounds, oh my God, it's so poetic, right? And I mean, when you watch a great session, man, it will make you cry. It will literally make you cry when you sit up there. You get goosebumps a lot of times, and I think people want to get back to that. I mean, yeah, we love it. We get excited by big scores, comebacks, and all that stuff. We get excited by Mahomes throwing behind the back passes 60 yards down the field. But, to be honest, man, I love to see some of these O-lineman tackles, the big Larry Allens of the day and Will Shields and man, some of these dudes who were just absolutely road pavers. Even watching, Warren Sapp coach the Commanders now just brings back the remnants of watching him and Chidi Hanatu and Canada and Marcus all gel and where they ran stunts together, man. It was beautiful. Him, Sapp and Booger, and it was beautiful to watch how human beings that big and agile could function so smooth without yelling, without communication. It was a tap, it was a pressure point, and to watch how quickly they could destroy a play, it was phenomenal, right? And it's truly poetic.
So and that's what I do appreciate about BK, what he's doing at LSU, because when Les Miles was there or Ed Orgeron, they was bringing in good players, but BK has a track record of going out, getting the 6'6", 250-pound tight end and building him into some animal that comes out like my favorite player in the NFL, Quentin Nelson. throwing humans beneath the dirt. Like, I love that, man.
I
So
do too. When ball was ball, when ball
yeah,
was ball. And I'm
yeah,
like that about basketball too. I'm ready for, I miss old school basketball. And then because some of we really, our players that we grew up with, well, not that we grew up with, but in the early 2000s, they're retiring, they're
yeah.
leaving. And it's just odd, this whole new crop. And, I love the guys, but, I want to go back to old school ball for real.
Yeah.
So, I put the Pac-12 in because this is a big year for their first year head coach, Coach Prime, and our former coach at JSU. What are your thoughts on the Buffaloes this upcoming season? And we know they were 1-5 1-9?
1-9, yeah, 1-9
last year. And with everything that coach has been facing this summer, he's been having surgeries again, removing blood clots from his leg and his foot. Do you think he would be well enough to make it to the first game?
I'm gonna say this, as one of the healthcare professionals on the team, when he said he was moving to Colorado,
Everybody
having issues, I'm like, it didn't make sense. Colorado especially. But outside of that, man, I think they'll do better. But I don't have a whole lot of faith in what they're gonna do this year because of the way he cleared the roster out. That's.
But they were 1-9. They weren't doing anything.
But that's not all on the players. You got some players in there, that could have played, and a lot of times, man, teams start spiraling, and you got some good players on the team, but
just the morale is down.
Yeah, it's just the whole atmosphere in the locker room has something to do with it. And one coach come in, what was the coach? Bum Phillips said, "I'll take yours and beat mine's, and mine's and beat yours."
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes it's just like that. It's the man, the head man. So it was kind of disappointing to see him get rid of, players like that. It was well within his rights to do it. But it's hard to bring in 70 new guys and think you're gonna do something. So
yeah, I agree. And from a record perspective, there's nowhere to go but up. Will they win a few more games? Absolutely. But his task there is going to be creating a culture, right? Creating a culture that has not been there before, and really doing it in a way that Colorado has never done it before, right? Because even during the days where, McCarthy was there, that was the big, brothership of Christianhood. There was still a level of understanding as to who you are, what you are. I know, I was when I played a little bit in Philly, and Eric Bieniemy was there. He talked about a lot of the way that they functioned when they were there at Colorado. Yes, you had great players who were there, but a lot of times guys were either in or out because it's the way that you function. So Prime is going to have a task on his hands in order to be able to create the culture he wants. We already know he knows what to do.
Right.
But will it happen this year? I don't think so, because like said, you're clearing that whole roster out. You're starting over. You're gonna find you get beat up a lot more. You get beat up a lot more at that level. So numbers are gonna catch up with you very, very, very quickly. So maybe year 2, he'll have a little more success. But I do think you're gonna see you're gonna see a hell of an improvement from where they were.
Yeah.
So they were 1-8 in conference play and 1-11 overall last season. Do you think they'll break 500?
I do. It's the Pac-12.
Okay.
It's the Pac-12. Yeah, it's the Pac-12. They'll break 500. I think if they meet it, they'll barely break 500. Because again, Pac-12 has struggled to compete really in football for quite some time, and and now we're talking about the pure existence of the conference in itself. So yeah, there are some teams out there that you got to go and you got to play and you got to beat to kind of prove yourself. But overall, you still got some that are out there that aren't in it to win it as well. So I think they'll do better. I think they'll get to 500.
How do you think Shador do against these teams versus the SWAC? Say it.
Oh man, I think it's gonna be less to do with Shador than it is to do with his linemen.
Okay.
I
Right.
mean, he's gonna be able to throw the ball. But just think about a couple of years ago, LSU was down to 30-some players going into a bowl game. I don't know how many is on Colorado roster right now, but you think 30-some players, you barely got a starting 11 on both sides, and then you might have a couple of fill-in players on the outside. So just say if he got to 55 players, most of those players, where are they coming from? The South. He brought them all from Florida, this and that. Colorado's gonna get cold. They probably never played in snow before. So not only is it the competitors that they're playing against, but it's gonna be the weather. It's gonna be a lot to battle in this first year, man. That he's gonna be breaking in a lot of new people. So if he break 500, man, I think he should be coach of the year. With that, So,
yeah.
But Shador, man, I'm not worried about him per se. It's just, can they protect him?
Yeah,
So.
I agree. Well, I know a lot of people don't, but I wish him well. I want him to do well.
There's no way you can beat. I don't really care for Coach Prime, but I love his kids though. Like, I don't want nothing but the best for his kids, because they came in and did exactly what they were supposed to do. They came to Jackson, enjoyed the culture and did what they were supposed to do. So
you're right. Last but certainly not least, my alma mater, the JSU Tigers. We have our opening game August 26th against the 2021 Celebration Bowl, South Carolina State, and in Atlanta. As you know, JSU has been in the Celebration Bowl for the last 2 seasons, and we came up short both times. We went in there as, as the pick, the winner for both seasons, but we did not make it. JSU definitely has a chip on their shoulders and something to prove with also their first-year head coach, T.C. Taylor, and former football player for JSU Tigers. Same question as before. What are your thoughts on JSU's upcoming team? And are there any players we should keep our eye on? And what about Coach T.C. Taylor? Say it, you can start since you are honorary JSU.
Yeah, that's our alma mater. You forgot to share it with
me. I'm sorry. Our alma mater. Because you probably went to more games when we were children, for sure.
Hey, man, I'm excited for him to see what he's gonna do. As far as the level of talent, he brought in, if you just go by the rankings, he brought in just as much talent as Prime did.
Yep.
So I have no idea who his coordinators are. I kind of came up around the time of TC, so I know what kind of guy he is. So he's gonna have the talent. It's just all about what scheme he's gonna put in place. We're not getting a whole lot like we've been getting the last 2 years with Prime about where they are with the program, which is a good and bad thing. We'll learn on the 26th in Atlanta, because I'll be there.
So who do you think is going to be a good matchup against South Carolina?
Yeah, it should. I mean, Buddy Pugh been, Coach.
Buddy Pugh been 20 years.
He's been doing it. And the reason why Jackson State lost the last 2 games in the Celebration Bowl, and Dion will never admit this, but he got out coached, man. He wanted
both times.
Yeah, he wanted to do the pretty boy ball. He was showcasing his son. And Buddy Pugh and North Carolina Central,
they took advantage of that.
They played murder ball.
Joyless murder ball.
they play murder ball and they win, man. But if your team is clearly Jack State had probably the most athletes both times, going into the game. But not to say that South Carolina State, North Carolina Central didn't have athletes, because South Carolina State had a corner drafted, in the 3rd round, 4th round, somewhere up in there. So we'll see, man. I mean, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good test for them, first game.
Yeah. Jay?
Yeah, I always get excited when I see former players get a chance to coach home, right? I always feel like, they bring a little bit something more intimate, because again, they've been there, they care. You can see and listen to, TC in some of his interviews and know that it's just oozing out of him. He wants it so bad. I just want those guys to be able to follow him, because he is trying to set a stage for those guys to be able to do something big for them, for JSU as a whole. And I think he does have some players there that have the ability to be able to take those guys and carry it on, right? You could quickly erase the idea of, Prime being there and all the things he did, as great as it was, and truly stamp TC and what he wants to do with that program. I'm excited to see it. I went and went ahead and purchased my season tickets this year. Me and, the boys are going to go and check them out. And we're gonna get there, and I want to see what they got, and of course I'm gonna still, talk my smack and everything else, still
you gonna
get
talk your
in.
smack when we play Southern and when we play
Southern and Grambling come to town, but I'm just joking.
No, you should. That's them your home teams.
Look, we have enjoyed watching. And again, I'm a football fan, and I love watching good football. And and I think they're gonna bring something to the table. And that first game, like I say, Coach Pugh. And I didn't watch much of South Carolina except for the last few years when they were. Look, you might as well just throw some visors on them dudes and take them names off the back of their jersey. Because all of them have a little dog in them. I don't care. All those positions, you can tell they've been coached up, and I love it. I love it because it just goes to show you, man, that level of professionalism and intimate detail of what they do and how they do it. It's everywhere. It's all around us. So, just because Prime left don't mean that the standard and the excellence and the expectation is gone, man. Because look,
it was already there before he came.
Yeah, it was already there. Look, Coach Pugh reminding y'all, I am the pinnacle, right? So he is the tip of the sword right now. So
but it'll be fun for us to really. We got to beat the MEAC. Only one team has beat them, and it's the MEAC, and it's Grambling.
Yep.
So we got something to prove. Last question: who takes the East and the West in the SWAC this season? And after SWAC Media Day last week, ESPN named FAMU as being.
I'm gonna give it to FAMU. I like the video. No, I'm just joking.
Look, blink, blink.
Hey, because I want to go back to the Celebration Bowl, I'm gonna speak it with my tongue. Jackson State,
right.
And I'm gonna say Southern.
Really? Yeah, because nobody really. You're right. Yeah.
Man, I like the coach over at Southern, man. I like that.
You saw him in his Gucci suit last week.
Yeah.
Maybe they cut up on that man so bad. I'm like, leave him alone.
That's how you roll. He been rolling like that for years. You know that.
Dooley is known for his suits. He came. He was ready. He was like, money.
I like that dude, man.
I like Dooley. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think JSU will finish out. I'm gonna withdraw my FAMU vote. I think they got a couple of distractions happening right now.
And one or two.
Yeah, one or two.
One of their directors was found dead yesterday.
What? Really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forgot his actual position. He's been with FAMU, I think 17 years. So prayers to the family. Yeah, it's just, well, they family, I forgot. So yeah, prayers for them. Really, really sad. Yeah, they do have a lot going on.
Yeah, yeah.
So, well, guys, as usual, thank you so much for joining me today. But you know, we got to play my game. I got some good ones for y'all today. When I say I was cracking up laughing.
I'm ready.
Uh-oh.
Cannot wait. So guys, we're going to play our game. You can give it this, you can give it that. And that's a way for me and the listeners to get to know the guests better. I'll ask you guys a few questions and you choose the one that best fits you. I'm sorry. Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or be in a coma for a decade?
What kind of question is that?
What kind of, do you get conjugal visits in jail?
You do 5 years in jail or a decade in a coma.
I don't want to miss 10 years, man. So
You
I'm gonna do
you
this.
said rest. You said rest earlier.
I need rest, but I want to remember the rest. Yeah, I want to remember. If
you
I
going
get
to
federal,
jail?
give me federal time for 5 years.
Okay, federal. Jay.
Yeah, give me federal time. Boys Club.
He don't want the regular jail. He said federal.
Hey, you in the jail. Hey, I'm picking my own jail, man.
Okay.
I don't know. I've been traumatized by the show Oz, so I think I'm gonna take the coma.
Out of BC.
I didn't see Oz, but do they do Oz in federal prison?
I don't know.
Oh my God. I don't know. I don't care.
My 5 years probably gonna turn into life after I shank about 12 people in there. So I probably should think about the coma, but
Yeah. I'm gonna be like
Okay.
Tim Robbins in Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Right. Would you rather have everyone you know be able to read your thoughts, or for everyone you know to have access to your internet history?
Oh no, read my thoughts.
yeah. I don't know, man. I might get beat up, like not knowing if people read my thoughts. I be
Oh
talking
my
about.
gosh. When we stop recording, I gotta tell y'all something what happened today. I gotta tell you, kind of dealing with the internet history. Not with me, y'all, but somebody. Anyway, so y'all say
Internet history for me.
and thoughts for you, Jay.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna switch mine. You can have my internet history.
Yeah.
You don't want nobody to have all your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to have all my thoughts, because look,
Because T will be looking upside your head.
look, because that's my internet right there. Because look, you just go find a bunch of food spots on my internet.
Would you rather lose your sight or your memories? That's hard.
That is. Hey, but I know a friend, his dad is blind, and he be liking pictures on Facebook and everything, man. So,
Is it in Braille?
I don't know how he do it, man. But hey, he's remarkable though. He's not just regular. I'm gonna just go to him. He gonna teach me. And so I say blind.
Yes.
Yeah, I say blind.
Yes. So I say blind. Blind for 200.
Yeah. Hey, man.
I don't want to lose either, but I don't think I want to lose my memories though.
Yeah, man. The memories, man.
That's hard. What about you, Jay?
Whew.
When I was younger, I would have said memories because I didn't know no better. But as a mature woman now, I want my memories.
Yeah.
So, question: if I lose my memories, do I have plausible deniability?
See, y'all doing too much. So I need you to just answer the question.
Because if that be the case, then take these memories from me.
Fine,
I'm holding on too much. Oh no.
fine. You can lose your memories, whatever. Would you rather, and this, y'all gonna really think about this because how hot it is. Would you rather give up air conditioning and heating for the rest of your life, or give up the internet for the rest of your life? They can
Oh,
have
take
it.
the internet.
They can have it.
They had the internet.
I don't know, man. I just been getting, I'm just getting good with Chat GPT, man. So I can try to figure out this heat and air thing, man. I don't know.
Let me see how hot it is right now here. Say it.
Hey, but I didn't get my first air conditioning until I was probably almost out of high school.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we never had.
Acclimated.
Yeah, we never had air, man. Like never had
When
air.
I was living in Dallas, it was 11 o'clock one night, and well, nothing, but it was 95 degrees at 11 o'clock. That's crazy. I'm gonna give up the internet for the rest of my life, even though I love Google so much. Would you rather have universal respect or unlimited power?
Ooh.
I told you I had some good ones today.
I don't know, man. If I had the power, I'll make you respect me. So I'm gonna go with power.
Give me the. I want the respect. I want the respect. I want the respect.
Unlimited power. Most people don't respect those type of people, like Putin.
I'm just sending my goons over there to do you in.
And that's what Putin does. That's why Ukraine going through what they going through. Because of folk like you.
I don't want nobody else to have unlimited power, so give it to me, man. I'm gonna make sure everybody right.
What's that cartoon? Tiny in the Brain. What is it?
Oh yeah,
Pinky in the brain.
Pinky in the brain.
Yeah, in the brain.
Would you rather have I want both, a personal maid or a personal chef?
Give me a personal chef because that'll give me the energy to clean up for myself. I don't want to cook. Yeah.
I want the chef, but give me the maid.
See, you can cook though. I mean, Jay can too.
I can cook, but I don't want to. Like when I finish this, I gotta go cook, and I don't want to.
Yeah, I rather clean up than cook though. So.
Oh, I cannot. Oh my gosh, I'll do it because I have to, but I don't like it. Would you rather have Beyonce's talent or Jay-Z's business acumen? I already know what y'all are.
I think both of those are kind of shaky, but
Can I just have Beyonce? I mean,
Jackson, did you say Beyonce? Yes.
Hey, I guess.
Yes, and both of them are shaky.
Yeah, both of them kind of
He's
shaky.
a billionaire. They're billionaires. So you.
I mean, I know a lot of people that make a whole lot of money, and they ain't.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'd say I guess Jay-Z deal.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Beyonce. Nothing.
I can say, well, yeah, give me the business
It's not
acumen.
being Beyonce, just her talent, like her singing, her dancing. I mean, she's not a
But
great actor, but
That's worth nothing without that package.
I say, yeah, give me the business acumen. Yeah, give me the business
you're right.
acumen.
But you could be Usher. You could be Usher.
Huh?
But they didn't say Usher. They said Beyonce. You're right.
Yeah.
Y'all want Jay-Z. Okay.
Nah, give me the business acumen.
Okay. Would you rather lounge by the pool or on the beach? That's easy. I want beach.
Yeah, I do the beach because the wind is on the beach. The pool don't be having that wind, man.
Right.
Is it my pool? Am I by myself?
You can be by yourself.
I'm finding I'm antisocial as I get older. So, I'm
Is it my pool? Am I by
my
myself?
pool, yeah.
My pool.
My beach. Yeah.
So you which one you choose?
One with the less people.
Okay, so the pool.
Fewer people.
That's true. I don't like beaches with a lot of people either. But
Me either. I like early morning.
man,
I love that time. It's beautiful. The sun is rising.
I like to sleep on the beach, and I don't trust people around me while I'm asleep. So, yeah.
That's true. Well, especially in this day and age. You're right.
Yeah.
Would you rather wear the same socks for a month or the same underwear for a week?
Oh, you gotta give me the same socks.
Socks.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't do them.
I'm already down only 5 days a week with draws, so you know that's optional in my world anyway. So give me socks.
Those socks, man.
I was cracking up because I already knew. Oh my gosh. Yeah, give me the socks. Oh my shit. They gonna leave funky. Would you rather, last one. Ooh, would you rather stay the age you are physically forever or stay the way you are now financially forever?
I'll take physically because I don't want to be here financially forever. So
Yeah.
I'm just starting over a new career, so I can't, you know. I can't do this. Hey, with the hopes of, hey, well, not the hopes, but the plan to do better later. So
Right.
yeah. So no, I can't be here. I'll take this out of shape body I got right
I
now.
don't want this body forever though. That's hard.
Nah,
I gotta lose weight.
me too.
What
Let's do
about
it.
you, Jay?
Yeah, give it to me physically. Financial, I don't think I ever settle. Yeah, give it to me physically. I'll still work on this.
Absolutely. Guys, thank y'all so much. I really enjoyed today. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And guys, you can follow me at She Say Sports on Facebook, at She Say Sports on IG. I'm not going to even give my Twitter because I don't know what's going on. It's an X now. Whatever. And,
Elon. X gonna give it to you.
and please subscribe to my YouTube page, She Say Sports. Well, until next time, this is Sonia, Jay, and Ced. Did She Say Sports?
Go Tigers. Ooh,
Go
I snuck it in there.
I love it. Oh, your Tigers. You mean LSU?
Yeah, my Tigers. Yeah, and your Tigers, and our Tigers. Or whatever.
Okay, our Tigers.
Thanks.